The Malaysian government has been accused of deceit and abuse of trust after the authorities confirmed what we already know: the search for MH370 is stalled. Welcome to another edition of Daily Airline News. I'm Jeffrey Thomas. Now let's get down to the detail. In an email to the Swiss news site Watson, Lieutenant Colonel Muhammad Amir bin Abdullah, Royal Malaysian Air Force, from Malaysia's Air Accident Investigation Bureau at the Ministry of Transport, said that the signing of the contract with Ocean Infinity for the search for MH370 has been temporarily postponed as the agreement is still undergoing final review. We remind viewers that this no-find, no-fee contract was agreed in December and has sat in a lawyer's office for the last 8 weeks and nothing has been done. This is a story we broke about 4 days ago. In his email, the Lieutenant Colonel claims, I quote, that as formally announced, the formalisation of the agreement between the Government of Malaysia and Ocean Infinity was initially scheduled for mid-February 2025. In fact, according to debris hunter Blaine Gibson, Transport Minister Loke said the contract would be finalised early in January. However, this process has been temporarily postponed as the agreement is now undergoing final review at the Attorney General's office, says the Lieutenant Colonel. Lieutenant Colonel Abdullah also says that while the financial aspects are a significant consideration, the Malaysian government is also evaluating several other critical factors, but does not elaborate on what those critical factors are. But given the military's performance in trying to take over the 2018 search by Ocean Infinity in Fremantle, I am certain this is all about the control of what information and images are released. My sense is no images of the cockpit area that might show who was in control of the aircraft could be a major factor. In a response to the email, K.S. Narendaram, we call him Naren, who lost his wife in the tragedy, said the Malaysian government has not been sincere. In an email posted to Richard Godfrey's website, he accuses the government of deceit and an abuse of trust. I quote, "When the government does not conclude a search agreement within a reasonable time frame after announcing its intent to resume the search and remains silent, it just feels like bad faith, deceit, and an abuse of trust. This is unacceptable. Next of kins are rebuilding their lives while learning to live with not knowing. The struggle to keep the focus on the search for the plane and answers takes its toll." In the email, he adds, Malaysia assumed leadership of the search, but was unwilling to be accountable and do whatever was necessary. It has, over the years, not been proactive and has mostly acted only when the media, the public, next of kin, attention and clamour to keep the search alive was intense. It has appeared for many years now that MH370 is a closed chapter for the Malaysian government, but it has been reluctant to say so for fear of adverse reaction. He goes on, a solemn duty to sponsor and search for credible new evidence was never owned by the government. Further, the responsibility to lead and conduct the search has been treated as an optional choice to be exercised if and when some search party came up with an offer that appealed to it. To assuage the next of kin and keep them at bay, authorities periodically issue statements of concern for closure. Naren goes on, I believe it is the unrelenting pressure from scientists, academics, and public-spirited individuals who put forward their expertise, perspectives, and safety concerns that will make the difference. It would have been great if the global civil aviation ecosystem were more vocal in pushing for answers, but that is perhaps asking far too much. For much of the world, it is business as usual. I might add here that we have advocated that the International Civil Aviation Organization, the governing body of aviation, takes over the search for MH370. Naren concludes, I am no scientist or technologist and can't possibly make a contribution here. I feel encouraged visiting here once in a while, reading posts and seeing how immersed people are in the search for MH370. Thank you for watching Daily Airline News. Please subscribe to us. Please like us. Please leave your comments. We do really appreciate them and we act on them. And please do tune in tomorrow for another edition of Daily Airline News.